What's up, y'all? Today, this video is going to be short, sweet, to the point. Um, Today on this video, I'm going to be directing this message towards the Pope, Pope Leo. All right, so everybody's aware that him and Trump been having a back and forth, right? So they're having a back and forth, and I'm seeing the reception for the Pope speaking up to Trump. And I'm noticing this trend, and it's starting to really like frustrate me because I'm noticing this trend where it's almost like if we share a common enemy, we'll forgive all your sins. We'll ignore what you're doing. The problem with that is, in theory, that's exactly the problem that we're in with our government right now. Okay, Epstein is providing blackmail. Epstein is providing intel. Epstein is providing or facilitating, I'm not going to say, but he's providing something to these people, and he has blackmail on them, supposedly, right? And I talked about in my last video that I just put out about how we act like Epstein Island is the only island. We act like Epstein Island was the first. It's like the same thing with Mossad in the other video I talked about, where everybody's attacking Mossad, and then the Pope comes out and everybody sides with the Pope. You guys do realize that the Vatican is tied to Mossad, right? You realize that? Or is that just another situation where people don't know what the fuck they're talking about? They don't actually know. They're just jumping on the bandwagon. They're not actually researching. They're just jumping on the bandwagon and letting content creators tell them everything. We got to stop doing that, because that's why we are where we are right now. Go read for yourself. I did a quick 2-second Google search and pulled up everything I needed for this video today, just so I have reference, not because I forgot, just so my facts are straight. Because just like I said in my other video, I was here and alive and paying attention when everybody was attacking the Vatican like they're attacking Messiah right now. I was here for it. I was part of one of the ones that was researching it and looking into it. That's what all the conspiracy theory videos were about during that time period. Not too long ago. 10 years or less. So, again, we got to be careful about just following what everybody says. You guys are mad at the CIA, right? Everybody's attacking the CIA too. You realize that they got direct ties to the Vatican. They work with the Vatican. You know that, right? And since World War II, since the Cold War, they've had a direct relationship with one another, the CIA and the Vatican. There were even priests who came out and said that they were basically agents. And they worked in a three: our CIA, the Vatican, and Mossad. They all work together. So, Pope Leo, yeah, I appreciate you speaking up to Trump. But if you want to do something, if you actually want to do something, don't get in a pissing match with Trump. What's that got to do with anything? We're calling him a man-child, and now you're behaving like one too because you're getting sucked into it. It looks like a rat beef between the Pope and the President of the United States. Nobody's offended or bothered by that. When did that change? When did they not start setting the example and acting like respectable men? Or was it always a facade and now the facade is just slipping? Because that's what I think. Granted, there might have been an official here or there that might have had good intentions, like JFK, and we saw what happened to him. And that's probably what happens to them all when they act like that, when they actually want to tell everybody the truth like it's supposed to be. A truthful nation is a free nation. A truthful nation is a peaceful nation. So, Pope Leo, if you want to do something, instead of arguing with a clown, why don't you offer the people the truth? Because you know. How about you tell the people the truth? You want to lead by example? You want to actually have an impact? Why don't you stand up and tell everybody the truth? The Vatican keeps just as many secrets as our government does. And they both keep a lot of the same secrets. So why don't you do Father Malachi proud and actually come out and tell the truth? Tell the truth. Because you know everything that's going on. You know the truth. You know the behind the scenes. Them files ain't new. And the government, the CIA, and anybody else in the know that has the access know that they didn't just get leaked during Biden's administration. The CIA already had them. How did they get leaked? Where did they get leaked from? Go back to 1996. FBI leaks. That means they already had the fucking files. They already had the files. They've been had them. It's a program. The islands are a program. It's not a secret to them. It's just a secret to us. And when they got all that blackmail on all them officials, they're just going to hold on to the files. Because they don't want everybody to go down that's in them. So if you're going to get mad, if you're mad at Mossad, don't clap for the Pope just because he said something you liked against the guy you hate. Because that's all that is. And that's our society right now. A motherfucker could be the worst person on the planet Earth, and they could come out and say some bad shit about somebody you don't like, and you forget or don't know what they did, and you just side with them. And you cheer them on like they did something brave. He didn't do nothing brave. He got in an argument with a U.S. official and did it in public view. He didn't do anything brave. Brave would be the Pope coming out and telling the truth. You know, like the whole thing when Joe Rogan said, I promise I'll sell out if you just show me a UFO. I'll drop everything I was raised to believe, and I'll drop it all right now. I'll cut everybody some slack. I'll drop it all right now. You just come out and tell the truth. Do that, I'll be in a Catholic church this Sunday. I'll go in the house, and anything that doesn't coincide with Catholics or Christianity or that faith, I'll burn it all. He's not going to do it, though. And I would advise all the people that are getting sucked into all this shit, know what you're getting sucked into. It's no better than the MAGA rappers. It's no better than the MAGA rappers, country singers, whatever the fuck trash they are, that used to... See, a lot of people, like, America just has amnesia. America has amnesia. They forgot all about the Catholic corruption. They forgot all about the secrets the Vatican was holding. They forget all about how everybody was talking about that the Vatican and we're under a false pope, we're under a false church, and they're all pushing devil worship on people subliminally and they don't know it. That they don't actually worship God and Jesus Christ, they worship the devil. And they're holding secrets and they work with the government. They participate in espionage. Dude, the Vatican's espionage goes back centuries. Centuries. That's why I keep telling y'all, the churches are directly linked to your government. And there's proof for you. Just go read. Stop being lazy. Stop letting content creators tell you everything and go fucking read. That's how everybody got played for a fool with Donald Trump, because they refused. Because they wanted so bad for him to be what they thought he was going to be, that they refused to look at the past. They refused to look at the proof. They refused to look at the evidence. They refused to do anything that would make them have a second opinion. And so far, he's done the opposite of what he said. About to invade Cuba. What's this, like country number 4 or 5? How many people we gonna fight? Mr. Anti-War, end all the wars. How's them gas prices? Mr. Bring the prices down for the everyman. How's them grocery prices? Mr. Bring all the prices down for the everyman. You haven't even held a candle to the jobs that Joe Biden created. And I'm not taking up for Joe Biden because I don't think he's any better. I don't buy into that shit. It's all fake. Your government's ran by criminals, and you got to wake up. We're the only ones that believe in this patriot bullshit. We're the only ones. Your government don't believe in it. That's why they sell everything out to other countries. They give all our money to other countries. And it's because of shit like this. Every time shit gets thick and we start waking up and we start getting smart and we start reading and we start pushing and we start speaking up and we start protesting, they give us a distraction and a new hero. And they just know that because we're so busy, we're so distracted, we're so overstimulated, we're so brainwashed that we'll just fall for it and we'll forget about the past. It's like all of the United States is in a state of disassociation and avoidance. And it's tragic because it's costing our future everything, and it's been costing our future for almost 100 years. Ever since JFK got killed and ever since we went into Vietnam, it's been downhill at 100 miles an hour ever since. And we just ain't waking up to it. And we somehow think that there's not a bottom at the end of that hill that we're going to hit. And we aren't doing what we have to do to stop it. So when all the shit falls down and everything happens, and everything's happening already, we have nobody to blame but ourselves because we were too much brainwash. We hated our neighbors more than we hated the government. By design, they did that, and we fell for it. We forgot all about how the racial caste system got started through manipulation and brainwashing. Yeah. People got together and wanted to protest, wanted to fight back, wanted a revolution, wanted to rebel. In comes racial caste system. The lie sells itself and tells itself if you just read. The manipulation and the brainwashing shows itself and reveals itself if you just read. We got to wake up. We got to get our memories back. Stop having amnesia. I'm not clapping for the Pope. I'm actually looking at the Vatican like a bunch of hypocrites. I'm not celebrating for that. I can give credit where credit is due. You spoke up to a tyrant, but your system, your intelligence agency that you have in the Vatican ain't no better. You ain't no better. And you seem to forget all the fucking favors our CIA and our government did for you when you were under the same pressure. When you had your own little Epstein Island, it just so happened to be in a church. Knock it off. You want to do something and you want to be an example and a true leader of history, one that history will actually remember, why don't you come out and tell the truth? What's so scary hidden behind the walls of the Vatican? What are the secrets that are so terrifying? Think we don't know about demons and angels? They've been force feeding us it since we were children. They're entities outside of our control that we can clearly interact with. It is what it is. Don't those entities exist whether you tell us all about them or not? And wouldn't it be smart for us to be aware of it than to not be? Or I wonder that if you would just come out and say it was all fake. I don't believe that because I happen to subscribe to God and Lucifer. And honestly, I don't care what you call any of it. A power greater than myself. What is not telling us about it benefit? Or is that not the secret you're holding? You got pages that were supposed to go in that Bible that didn't go in them because they are opposite against what you don't want us to have it. Well, guess what? A lot of us already know because we got raised different. So at a certain point, you're going to have a responsibility. Because in dealing with the power of intention, like praying to heal, it's a lot of people in this world working the opposite way who are powerful and strong because they've been doing it for a long time. So at a certain point, you're going to realize that the secret is doing more harm than good. So if you want to be a true leader and you want to be a pope that the world remembers and reveres and loves, next time you make a fucking post, tell the truth. Next time you want to find yourself in a high school back and forth with the President of the United States, tell the truth. The American people don't need you to tell us he's a piece of shit. We already know, and I knew before he got elected. We could all hold out hope that he's going to be impossible to control and he's going to actually do all the things he said. But then we quickly get reminded how important foreign espionage actually is and how powerful blackmail is. The CIA, the Vatican, and Mossad all work together. Don't believe me? Go read. Quick little search. All you gotta do is type in Vatican and CIA. It never ends. And a lot of us remember this from the big conspiracy wave from 10, 15, 20 years ago. I also remember when everybody thought Obama was the Antichrist, just like Donald Trump. So we got to stop with that. Because just like now it's Mossad, not too long ago it was the Vatican that was in the Mossad seat, and our government always seems to be in the middle, tiptoeing and dancing around. You want to know why? Because they're all three linked. They're all together. So I figured instead of making a comment on the post, I just make a video. Because what I'm not going to do is argue with a whole lot of people who have amnesia. Because the problem with the world is people will literally, and this is they trying to teach you. They trying to teach you. I talked about in my last video, everything 333, the Trinity trilogies, everybody, the devil, the Masonics, Masons, every 333. You see threes everywhere. A lot of people follow that. A lot of people follow that. But the problem is, people are made up so much of their beliefs. They cling so tight to their beliefs that if you come with facts or you come with information that detests what they believe, they see it as a personal attack. They see it as war, a personal war. This is why we can't make headway. People are more obsessed over their beliefs than they are with their knowing. You don't gotta believe something that's true. It's just true. No belief involved. Truth is or ain't. Lies is or ain't. Belief is a question mark. This is what I believe. Believing is absent of knowing. I know in all my being that we're under design. I know with all my being that there are spirits and entities that are among us, whether it be dimensional, whether it be alien, or whether it be spiritual. And I know that. I don't believe it. So we have to stop having that same rhetoric towards individuals. I believe Trump is a good guy. Yeah? Well, you should know if you're going to elect him for president. You should know if you're going to defend him like he's your child or your father. Shouldn't be a belief. It should be a knowing. So what we need to do, if we really want to be awake, we need to replace beliefs with knowing. So again, this is just another video warning people. Read and research. Study. Read. They're giving you the references, but go read before you just cheerlead. Go research before you just grab a sign to stick in your front yard and join their gang. Go research. Because the Pope's attacking Trump. Trump's working with Mossad. We're attacking Mossad. And they're all three the same. They're all part of the same organization that dates back to the Cold War, and the Vatican espionage dates back for over 5 centuries. And I'm only making this video because it appears to me that nobody knows or remembers. So I thought I'd educate some people. Because that's what this world actually needs, real education. And all it takes is one brave person in the know to risk their life and risk their place and come out and tell the truth. You might lose your little group or your little clique, but you'll gain the world because the whole world wants the truth. The whole world wants the truth. Why didn't you speak up when our government was poisoning our food? Why didn't you speak up when our government was poisoning our air? Why didn't you speak up when they were brainwashing our citizens and we're supposed to be a Christian nation? And they're having no control over all this filth that they push on our kids. And then they trick us to where people treat you like a piece of shit if you don't do what everybody else is doing. They bought a Yeti cup, now I gotta go buy a Yeti cup. They bought a Stanley cup, now I gotta go buy a Stanley cup, and now my Yeti cup collects dust in my fucking cabinet. Yeah, that's the society we live in right now. You know what I drink out of? A glass fucking mason jar that I washed and reuse. We gotta wake up. We're gonna keep complaining. We gotta wake up. We're too old to still be trying to be popular. And popularity doesn't mean shit when your country is ran this way. Who cares how many views and clicks you like? Who cares? Because the same people that are getting all the views and the clicks now for down talking Trump are the same people that got his fucking ass elected. And again with the amnesia. And everybody's like, you guys are the truth tellers and the trailblazers. Really? So who are the people that already knew Trump was a pile of shit and that he was actually guilty? Who are the people that were saying, what the fuck country did I die and wake up in? We have a felon for a president? What the fuck? Why? Where? But meanwhile, a felon in your own hometown can't get a fucking job, can't carry a gun to protect himself, can't vote. Oh, so if you're a felon, you can't vote, but you can be the fucking president of the United States? What a fucking joke. And y'all still patriots? And you call yourself brave. You call yourself brave, talking about how we got all the guns in America. You know who's brave? The people over there that everybody over here doesn't give a fuck about, that stand up and fight with less resources. That's who's brave, not us. We're sheep because we still play follow the leader. It's time to be wolves. It's time to be wolves. And I've watched people my whole life sit on the internet and talk all that Billy Badass shit. All that anti-government shit. Just like Tom McDonald. I remember when he first came out. I can tell clearly most of his fans don't. Same thing with Jelly Roll. I can tell clearly most of the fans don't remember him. Don't know who he actually is, where he come from, what he started at. I do though. And they were both anti-government, anti-establishment, anti-corporate. Oh, was it Trump was popular and that's why you jumped on his dick? Because you thought it would get you more views and clicks? Make your music get pushed harder? Or were you just a liar? A wolf in sheep's clothes? A sheep in wolf's clothes, really, if you want to know the truth. Because you come out talking anti-government, anti-this, anti-that, anti-racism, we're all the same. And how quick you turn. Same thing with all the outlaws that voted for him and supported him. How quick you turn. And I'm not buying the bullshit about how Trump he got kidnapped by Mossad and he's a puppet now. No. They gave Trump a fucking script. You want to get elected? This is the base you need to reach. You want to get elected? These are the things you need to say. That's why when they get in, they do the polar opposite, because it's a script. They're acting. They're playing a role to get people to vote for them. It's called pandering. And that's what the whole world is, a pandering hypocrite. Especially in this country. Stop pandering, stop being a hypocrite. Fucking stand for something or believe in nothing. So yeah, I'm not really impressed. I'm not really impressed. Because the Vatican holds just as many secrets as your US government. And they're directly linked. They have just as much corruption as Mossad, and they're directly linked. So, if the Pope wants to impress me, start telling the truth. Come out and say, American people, my people, God-loving, God-fearing people, God-knowing people, it's time to tell you the truth. Then I'll be greatly impressed. But you can't do that, because then the whole system collapses. You ever stop to think, since everybody's so obsessed with Revelations and the end times and the Antichrist and Jesus, you ever stop to think maybe that's what's needed? Oh, that's right. That's what's needed for all of us, just not you. Just not y'all. So, yeah, I'm not impressed.